Hey everybody, this is going to be a playthrough of Mission 3B from the Valley campaign for the Flaming Cliffs A-10A. If you're playing Mission 3 of the campaign and your briefing doesn't look like this, you're probably on 3A, so go ahead and switch over to that video. Looking at the mission briefing, we got a morning mission in the summer. Clouds are plenty high and sparse enough that visibility is not a problem. Looking at the loadout, we got a mix of Mavericks as well as some cluster bombs. Probably won't need those cluster bombs in this mission. Looking at the allies, we got one A-10A wingman, and then there's a flight of two F-18s flying around as well. Looking at the objective, we'll be flying out to waypoint 5 and destroying 3 artillery units that are out there. Looking at the threat, we've got an SA-11 that's pretty far away up to the north, so it's not too much of a threat. If it shoots at you, just dive down low, use the terrain to mask that missile, and you should be able to trash it pretty easily. There's also a Strela, a few Strelas, those are IR guided SAMs, as well as a couple different forms of AAA. Probably won't get close enough to any of that if you play your cards right, so not too much of a threat. Looking at the pictures, we got an overview of the route. So we're flying out over the mountains to the east, then coming up towards waypoint 5, and we're going to find 3 artillery units there. They've also got waypoint 6 listed as an attack point here, but there's nothing there, and no objectives that aren't met by just destroying the artillery at waypoint 5. This route has you flying around the north of all the threat. I don't really recommend doing that. Probably just hang out over the mountains to the east, kill your artillery, and then just kind of backtrack along the mountains, get back home. There is some threat. If you follow this route, you'll be overflying some SAMs and some AAA that you don't need to. But it's up to you if you want to try to do that. Looking at the other picture, we got a picture of the target area. You'll be shooting from pretty far away, so this is only minimally helpful. You'll be looking at it. You'll be off to the right in this picture's orientation. So you'll be using the waypoint marker in the HUD to find your targets, and then just shooting your Mavericks from pretty long range to stay away from the SAMs and the AAA. Looking at the mission planner. See that route again, so heading out over the east, over the mountains and the trees. Coming up, this is waypoint 4 here, but in the jet it'll be waypoint 5. So you try to launch from pretty close to where waypoint 3 is on here. Again, that'll be waypoint 4 in the jet. So just stay out over the trees, get that Maverick pointed out where the waypoint marker is. You'll find these artillery units in a straight line, kind of in the crook of this village here. It's not too hard to find. And then just launch your Mavericks of those guys, probably one at a time. Sometimes if you launch multiple Mavericks at a time, the first one hits and then it screws up the picture for the second one, so the second one doesn't hit. So just do one at a time and then take a big lazy loop back to the east. Wait for that first one to hit and then come back around and launch another one at the next target. Don't worry about which one you shoot in which order. You can hit all 3 of these no matter which one gets hit first, so no big problem. You've got a 4th Maverick to use at that point. You could just chuck it at anything else in this area or take it home with you. If you want to, you can come back and, or after you destroy those with Mavericks, you can come back and use cluster bombs on anything else in the area, but there's really no reason to do that. Once you destroy these 3 artillery units, you're going to get the message telling you that the mission's complete and you can RTB. So once you've got that, you've destroyed whatever else you want to destroy. Like I said, instead of following the route, probably just backtrack along the mountains and the trees, fly back to Batumi, you land, and that'll do it. Good luck. All right, start the mission. It's pretty windy. All right, there'll be a long flight ahead, so I'll put timestamps in the video description if you want to skip the boring stuff.
altitude, altitude. Altitude, altitude. Altitude, altitude. Altitude, altitude. Altitude, altitude.
Alright, we're looking at waypoint 5 for 3 artillery units.
Altitude, altitude.
Contact air defense target, 11 o'clock, point 6.
Alright, wingman. Must have flown into the mountain or something. I don't see anything. Alright, I think I overshot waypoint 5, so we'll just go straight to 4, so we'll go straight to 5. I think the flight director's playing tricks on me. Yeah, it's behind us. Go ahead and switch to air to ground, get the Mavericks up. Okay, we're looking for artillery right in front of this village. We're just about in range already. Alright, here they are. Try to get that back one first, but Mavericks are kind of a pain. Yeah, just have to hit that first one first. Alright, SA-11's looking at us.
Altitude, altitude. Altitude, altitude.
Alright, I think I'm locked on the second one. Get a little bit closer. Alright, that should be fine. Get the other Mavericks up, we'll do another loop. Trying to gain some altitude, but I don't want to get shot at. So I'll just be prepared to dive if we do get shot at. Alright, I think that's the target area. Alright, locked on that third one. And we've got one extra Maverick, I might as well shoot it at something over here. Got this guy. Then I don't really feel like overflying a bunch of enemies following the route, so I'm just going to head back along the trees here. Alright, there's mission complete. We'll just continue to RTB. Again, there'll be timestamps in the video description if you want to skip the boring stuff. Go ahead and advance, go back to air to ground, right air, sorry, nav mode. Advance the route. Just trying to find the last waypoint before landing.
Altitude, altitude.
That'll do it.